Hello, everyone. Just sending out an announcement to make sure everybody knows that the stream is going on. So give me just a second. Okay. And just okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Mr. Trammell. I'll be your instructor for electronic media performance. For today's lesson, I'm going to go a little light because there's some other stuff I want to discuss before we get into Chapter 1 and a whole bunch of announcer, communicator type stuff. So, first thing I want to talk about is how you can find the lecture notes for this class. So, the way that you can do that is, let's go to, on the Blackboard homepage. So, on the Blackboard homepage, over where it says content, that's where I'll be posting lectures, web links, whatever. That's usually a lot of stuff that I post there. So click on content, and the lecture notes for the whole chapter are already there. I won't be covering the whole chapter today, but you can still have the handouts. So when I say handouts, it's a PowerPoint, but the student versions have blanks. So basically you have to watch the lectures to know what those blanks say. So that's one way of me making sure that you pay attention, watch the lectures, and have all the information that you will need eventually for for a test, and also just to use in real life. So yeah, that's one thing I want to talk about. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I do have the live chat available. So if you have a question, or if you have an issue, like maybe you can't hear me, or maybe you can't see something that I've popped up on the screen, let me know as soon as possible. I'd hate to find out 10 minutes later that, oh, you couldn't even see whatever it is I was talking about. So yeah, either let me know through the live chat, or you can just send a message to me through the Remind app, and that way either way it'll be fine. I'll get it. If I'm not getting it fast enough, send it to my phone. But I do check the live chat thing every few minutes. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to tell you about was another way to find the lectures. So this is if you just Google, or if you just type in R. Trammell in YouTube, my channel will show up, and you can click on it, click on playlists, and I do have a playlist for electronic media performance. So if you don't want to go through Blackboard, and then if you don't want to go through Blackboard, then yeah, my mic is on. Okay. Then you can just go straight to the YouTube and see if there's any new lectures available. So that's another way of looking at it. So it'll be EMP for electronic media performance. And let me get some other stuff set up. So now let's actually get to today's lecture. And let me just check, see if there's any questions so far. Okay, no? All right. Oh, also, there is, I know there's about, I think, maybe 12-second delay between what I say and when you actually get it. So it might actually be another, I don't know what the delay is from, say if you type something in the live chat and me getting it. Maybe it's 12 seconds, maybe it's a lot faster since it's just, since it's strictly text. Anyhow, some things about this class, and I usually don't say this in the welcome because sometimes there's stuff that I just like to say in person or just with my own words, and that is think of this how you can kind of think of this class. All right, so electronic media performance. This class is ideally for people who would like to pursue a career in front of the camera as an announcer, or in front of the camera, or in front of a microphone, or some type of electronic amplification of their, of their voice, their sound, their delivery. So you've probably done oral comm before. Well, this isn't like that. This is way more geared towards people who want to go into a specific field. So there will be work on, on your presentation, but there will also be work on the technical skills that you need to know, because it's not like oral comm where you could just stand somewhere and give a great speech. You also need to know about, microphones and how stuff is transmitted, and just some other things that affect some technical aspects that affect your performance. So, and no, there won't be any, greatest fear speeches or anything, or persuasive speeches or anything like that. Now, there will be some speaking activities, but not that. So, getting on to, eventually I'll get to this lecture, to announcing for electronic media, chapter 1, which the chapters I am, coming from the textbook. If you don't have it, get the textbook. So, with this chapter, let's go over some of the attributes of a successful announcer. So, sorry for moving around too much. So, the 3 things. So, talent, perseverance, preparation. So, with talent, there's some people who are just naturally good at speaking. Just like there's some people who have like that wonderful speaking voice where it's like, oh man, you should go on the radio or TV, or do announce for movie trailers or something. So that nice voice, that outgoing personality, yeah, some people just have that, yes, but it can also be it can be cultivated, it can be developed. It's something that you can work on. You can actually practice talking to people, actually practice forcing yourself to go up and speak to someone, or just maybe you're naturally nervous when speaking to a group of people, but over time, through you get less nervous and more of your personality shows through. So yeah, that there is a talent aspect to it, but also that can be it can also be something that that you grow into. Okay, and also certain things that you just naturally have. So this part where I'm talking about my attention span. Before I worked at UAPB, I was a news producer for a lot of my career in journalism. And one of the things that I had to do was write a lot of news stories. But in broadcast, you have to keep your stories short, whether it's just words or it's words and video. So something that would help me is that I guess sometimes scripts would get a little boring a little bit faster for me. So, and that would help me write news, because I'm thinking, okay, I need to add another visual image. I need to change this shot. I need to get off of this topic. So by having sometimes I wouldn't say I have a short attention span, I'd have abbreviated attention span, then it actually helped me in creating shorter, snappier content. So now, okay, that's the talent part, just things that you may naturally have. Perseverance, yeah, you're gonna face rejection, especially if you want to be someone on camera. So even if you don't want to be someone on camera, you're still going to face rejection. Something this just lets you know I'm old or old school, whatever. I have actually a box of all the rejection letters I got from TV stations when I was trying to get my first job, because it's seriously like a shoebox full of thank you, but position's been fulfilled, thank you, but we're going to go hire someone else. Back then they actually wrote you a letter to reject you, which was nice. Anyway, so yeah, you will face rejection. I remember something my old professor told me back when I was in school was, if you find a job in I think it was like the first 5 or 6 months after after graduating on camera, then you're doing great. But yeah, it just takes one yes. So yeah, ironically, when working in media, usually the hardest job to get is going to be your first job. So but after that, and it's happened in my case, once I got my first job, then it's like, I don't know, it's just like all snowballs. I guess I'm no longer looking for a job, and then I get all these job offers, and then when you're looking for your second job, it took me, I think, 3 months to find my first job in news. I think for my second, it took about 3 months for my first producer job. I did other work in news as well, but I considered producing being my main profession. But anyway, in news, it took me about 3 months to get my first job. It took me a week to get my second job. So after I fulfilled my contract and all that, so yeah, it's a lot easier to do it once you actually have that first yes. And also it opens the doors to other things. So anyway, then start off as a producer. Yeah, and also that whole perseverance thing, this is one field where you got to apply a lot of effort. You got to do things that don't seem like, okay, this is the standard path. You just got basically put a lot of effort out there. So and also doing those things, like sometimes you may be in a classroom, back when we were in classrooms, and there's some volunteer assignment or whatever, and nobody raises their hand or nobody wants to do it, or yeah, taking advantage of those opportunities in the working world usually gets you other job opportunities, other promotions, whatever. So, or maybe it just puts you around the people who can help you get to where you want to get. So yeah, that perseverance actually really does, yeah, that's one of the top things, because there's plenty of people with talent who don't apply themselves and yeah, don't get to where they want to be. So moving on. I feel like I'm taking too long already, and I wasn't even going to go that long. So on preparation, that is obviously taking opportunities to better your skills, spend a little time developing some type of skill. Also just for example, just knowing how to read a script. It's not that difficult. I say just spend maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes knowing which side of the script you read, which side you don't, what little formatting, little codes or whatever on there mean, and then you'd be fine. But there's lots of people who, I don't know, just an example of reading a script where there's something in parentheses and they read the stuff in parentheses when you're not supposed to do that. So anyway, this book, this course is to help you prepare. So that way, not only, for you not to make little basic mistakes, but also have some higher level abilities. So You don't need all three of these to be successful. Talked a little bit about that. So if you think you're short in one area, it doesn't mean it's just completely over for you. And of course, work on your weaknesses. Now, yeah, 2 or 3 attributes. Yeah, I think I talked about that. Hold on just a moment. I need to check on something. So, some things that you can expect from this book, from this course. Speak with an appealing voice, just basically developing a sound that works for you. Also, articulation, we will go over that. So, if you don't speak clearly, if you're chopping off the ends of your words, we will address that. So, and try to get you some improvement in that aspect. So, also varying the pitch, how fast you speak, and volume, how loudly you speak, when necessary. So, for example, slowing down when you're trying to really emphasize vital and important information. Also, pronouncing words correctly. People don't do that. Having confidence in your expression, knowing how to interpret copy. It's not just reading the script, but knowing how the script should be read. So sometimes a lot of announcers mark up their scripts. So if there's something that they know they want to emphasize, they'll put that on their physical copy of the script, even though they're reading it from the teleprompter. Still just having that visual marker, because they turn pages as they keep up with the teleprompter. Then it still reminds them, okay, I need to do this when I get to this particular story or this particular segment. Speaking ad lib or impromptu, basically how to speak when you have little or no preparation on a particular topic. There's a lot of impromptu speaking that goes on, where they have an idea of what, say, a reporter may be talking about, but then after that story they have a little banter back and forth. And of course, communicating your ideas clearly. I think that kind of speaks for itself. Now, the announcer is not something that just popped up with the invention of, say, radio and television. So, they've had maybe people say church announcements. That would be one. Now, some of this announcing, some of it is for delivery of information, some of it is for entertainment. One example, that link that I had put in this a long time ago, and I'll show you, kind of like the town crier. This was I'm about to show you is an example of that. I'm going to turn off my microphone so so you don't hear echo, but just a little fictional example of an old announcer. So let me go ahead and cue that up.
Mark Antony, no prostitutes, actors, or unclean tradesmen may attend. Tomorrow, at the 4th hour, a funeral service will be held for Gaius Julius Caesar, under terms of truce and in the spirit of unity and forgiveness. Eulogies will be delivered by Praetor Marcus Junius Brutus and Consul Mark Antony. No prostitutes, actors, or unclean tradesmen may attend.